What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of TEW Confrontational, the March Madness episode. We got 2024 March Madness kicking off, and yeah, excited for that to start off. And my name is Ty Workentine, here with my little brother Evan Workentine.
What up? What up?
And yeah, we have Mr. March himself back with the second time here for March Madness, Kyle Lyons. So appreciate you hopping on, buddy. And we'll just hop into the March tournament, and yeah, we'll just go over all the games and everything like that. So, but yeah, we have March first playing game. So Selection Sunday was last Sunday. Obviously, we got to see the bracket and all that fun stuff. UConn was ranked number one. Houston was number one in the South, and then in the West was North Carolina at number one, and Purdue got number one seed. So UConn with the number one overall seed, and probably well deserved with the 31-3 record. So, but yeah, then playing games start on March 19th and 20th with Wagner and Howard and Colorado State and Virginia on Tuesday, and then Wednesday is Grambling State, Montana State, and Colorado and Boise State. And any surprising things there? I didn't think Virginia was gonna make it the way that their season ended.
Yeah, I didn't think Virginia should have got in. I was a big advocate of St. John's or even Oklahoma, just because I'm Big 12 biased. But I didn't think Virginia deserved to get in. But, here they are in a playing game. I think they're going to get smoked by Colorado State, to be honest.
Yeah.
The other 2-16 matchups, I don't see either of those teams upsetting a one. And then in the Boise game, I think that'll be the best game of the playing games, just because both teams ended the season really strong. Colorado's got a bunch of dudes. Boise State shoots a ton of threes. Should be the best game on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But as far as bubble teams go, a lot of teams got left out because there's a lot of teams who won conference tournaments who shouldn't have. NC State, for example, Duquesne in the Atlantic 10. And there's one more, I can't remember who, but a lot
that
of
McNeese or whatever, that McNeese team.
Oh, McNeese. They were supposed to win their tournament.
Yeah, they're pretty stacked.
But yeah, we'll get right into it. If you guys want to start with your picks out in the East.
Yeah. We have out in the East, you have UConn, number one UConn matching up against Stenson, number 16. UConn defending champions, ranked number one overall, like we said, entering the tournament. They have a pretty good backcourt with Tristan Newton and Cam Spencer. And yeah, this is Stenson's first ever tournament appearance. But yeah, so I have UConn winning this one for sure.
Yeah, I got UConn as well. I don't even know. I'm not even sure who Stetson is. So yeah, I just go with UConn.
I think they're 27-point favorites. They might win by 57. So
yeah, probably
them having any Purdue issues like last year.
Yeah, they do have a dude though. Stenson had that Jalen Blackman, and he dropped 43 in the Atlantic Sun conference title game.
So maybe some firepower, but
yeah, he dropped 43, and he's been averaging like 20 points a game and everything like that. So I can see, yeah, maybe, but I don't think anything's gonna happen there. But especially with UConn's experience, and we got a lot of older guys on their team too. So. And then next game you have in the East region, you have Florida Atlantic versus Northwestern, the 8-9 matchup. This one should be a pretty good one. That's on, both of those games are on Friday, the 22nd. So those would be the second round or the second day of the tournament. But 8-9 Northwestern versus Florida Atlantic. Who do you got in that one?
I like Florida Atlantic. Northwestern is down a starter. They might be down two. Florida Atlantic obviously in the Final Four last year, lost in the Final Four, but I think tournament experience gets them to the next round. Could be close. I'm not really too sure. Don't know a ton about Northwestern, but I'm going to roll with experience on this one.
Yeah, Northwestern's out Ty Berry and Matt Nicholson, but they do have that Boo Buie who's averaging like 20 a game and going off. Yeah.
He would have to carry them, I think, which he's capable of doing.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty tight spread, 3 or 4 points, but we'll see.
Northwestern's kind of like the live and die by the three type of team. So yeah, they're going to come out shooting and play aggressive, but they don't defend very well. And yeah, FAU, like you said, they made it to the Final Four last year, and they actually played out of Madison Square Garden, and that game's in Brooklyn, New York. So they kind of have the same path, like yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. They played in the Elite Eight and Sweet 16 in Brooklyn last year. So yeah,
So
that'll
yeah,
be
they
fun.
kind of have some kind of recognition or like familiarity with the area.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be kind of like a home court, maybe if you look at it that way. But yeah, FAU didn't make the American Conference title game, but they did beat Arizona earlier in the season. So yeah, I have Arizona coming out of not Arizona, sorry, I have FAU over in that one.
Yeah, I got Northwestern. I mean, I like these eight. I know seeding's not a huge thing, but I know I like Northwestern here. I like these 9-8 matchups, and I like the 10-7s. I know the first round, in this tournament, 10-7s are there's a lot of big
Really a
games.
coin flip.
Yeah,
So
so I'm pumped for those games, and I think this should be a good game. Yeah, like you guys said, I didn't really know much about Northwestern, but yeah, I'm gonna roll with them.
Yeah, fun stat just for like the 8-9 seeds. 9 seeds have won 13 out of the 20 meetings with 8 seeds in the past 5 tournaments. So 9 seeds
yeah,
kind of have a little bit of an, I guess, statistical advantage there.
yeah, that's the thing. At this time of year, the number next to the name doesn't really matter a whole bunch.
Right.
But we'll see. That's why they play the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, next one you have number 5, San Diego State Aztecs facing off against the number 12 UAB Alabama at Birmingham. That one's also on Friday. But yeah, who do you got in that one? SDSU lost to New Mexico in the Mountain Western Conference title game. So
Yeah, I'm gonna be super chalky in this region. I've watched UAB play a little bit. They don't play a ton of defense. San Diego State's known for their defense. They pretty much returned everyone from last year. Seeing them as a 5 seed is kind of scary. They've kind of been up and down, but I think they beat UAB here.
yeah, I got SDSU on this one as well, or San Diego, whatever. UAB is on a 5-game winning streak to end their season, heading into the tournament though. But yeah, like you said, I don't think they have the defensive firepower to match up with Jaden Ledee. He's averaging 21, 8 and 2, 6'9",
Mhm.
240
He
pounds.
pretty
So I
much
mean,
carried them last year, and they got some other guards, Parrish and can't remember the other one's name, but
yeah,
they returned, I think 3 or 4 starters from last year. So
yeah, and they were also in the Final Four last year too. So in this region, you have 3 out of the Final Four teams last year in
yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah,
All in the
SDSU and FAU.
upper left quadrant too. Could see some rematches.
Yeah, like you said, this region's kind of predictable. Yeah, it's going to be probably super chalky until like the Elite Eight. Just
Hmm.
with like the not going to be a whole lot of upsets in this one. Maybe the Drake Washington State, but we'll get into that one. But yeah, I have SDSU in this one. Who do you got, Evan?
Yeah, I got SDSU as well. I think that 5 seed. I was kind of just looking at that seeding wise, and I was like, I got to go with the 5 seed there.
Yeah, and then the next one you have the number 4 Auburn uh, facing the number 13 Yale. Yale with that kind of buzzer beater at the end of the conference game to beat Brown in the Ivy League.
Yeah,
Which
almost shouldn't
kind
have
of
even won that game. That game was wild. I don't know
right,
if you saw
right.
at the end, but they were down 6 with 30 seconds, came back, and Brown missed some free throws late. But um, I have Auburn rolling in this one. Like I said before, really chalky up top. Probably going to be the same on the bottom, but I don't see them having a problem with the Ivy League champs.
Yeah, no, very aggressive defense on Auburn, and they run 10 deep too on their bench. So I
Yeah.
mean, they're
Hmm.
very deep on the bench. Yeah, and the really only person that Yale has is that Danny Wolf, that 7-footer, that center, um, protecting the paint. So I mean, yeah, I mean Auburn can shoot, and they're fast paced, aggressive. So I have Auburn in this one as well.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Auburn as well.
Oh yeah, and that number 4, that 4-5 matchup next round with SDSU and Auburn should be a good one too,
Hmm.
if they do match up. Yeah, and then you have the number 6 BYU versus that 11 Duquesne that you said kind of knocked a couple teams out, winning their title game and everything like that. But yeah, BYU 6, Duquesne 11.
Yeah, kind of funny. The Duquesne's head coach actually just announced that he is retiring at the end of this year. They haven't been to the tournament since '77. and he actually coached LeBron at St. Vincent St. Mary's in '03.
Yeah, yep.
So
And that's awesome.
He was
yeah,
he
so
was
kind of a
coach.
feel good story. I do think it ends here though. I watched BYU a ton. They got a bunch of guys. I think they run 9, 10 deep. They will probably shoot 35 plus threes in this game, and that's not an exaggeration.
And they shoot really
Um,
well from three too.
yeah, Duquesne's a really like gritty defensive team, so it could make it hard on the Cougars, but I have BYU rolling in this one.
Yeah, like you said, Duquesne's defense holds opponents to 66 points per game. So
Mhm.
one of the better teams, and obviously not up to Houston's stature. But yeah, BYU shoots a ton of threes and they're really good. And yeah, and then BYU also made a transition to the Big 12 too, and they went 23-10. So it's pretty smooth transition to I would say kind of a bigger conference there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I had
Yeah,
BYU in
BYU.
this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go BYU. Like you said, Kyle, it would be a kind of feel good story. You said their coach is retiring after this year, so it would be awesome to see an upset. But I don't think it happens yet. I think BYU's got this one.
Yeah, yeah, that kind of is a cool stat. I heard that too. I heard that on like when I was just watching some bracketology that Duquesne head coach,
Mhm.
Coach LeBron, and I didn't put two and two together. But now that I think about watching back to that more than a
Yeah.
game movie or whatever, that was
One of the
pretty
Yeah.
best docs of all time. Or movie. I
100%
think it was a movie, but yeah, it was great.
documentary. It's kind of in both
Yeah.
intertwined.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. But yeah, I have BYU in this one as well. So, and then yeah, Illinois taking on Moorhead, number 3 Illinois, 14 Moorhead State. Yeah, Illinois is went on a tear in the Big 12 in the Big 10 tournament, and that Terrence Shannon Jr. had averaged like 34 in that tournament. So if they can keep that up and he can keep that up, I can see them going pretty far too, because they put up what like 80 some points a game, like 85 points a game or something
Yeah,
like
they've
that.
really been on a tear lately. To be honest, Morehead State's probably one of the mid majors I probably know the least about. Illinois has had some tournament struggles in the past. I know they were 1 seed during the COVID year, lost second round. I don't know the last time they've been to a Sweet 16, but I have them beating Morehead State here. They got, like I said, Terrence Shannon Jr. They got got a guys returned from last year. I love their coach, Brad Underwood. Really gets
Mhm.
into them. Like they can beat you with defense, they can beat you with offense. I'll take the Big Ten champs in this one.
Yeah, who do you got, Evan?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Illinois. I don't think I have anybody, any 14, 15, or 16 seeds winning in their first game. Yeah, and I actually have Illinois going to the Sweet 16. So yeah, I hope they win. I guess.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so yeah, Moorhead didn't. I looked at their schedule and they didn't really have any big conference games like quad one or quad two wins. And then I looked at like some of their top scorers. Riley Minix averaged 21 and 10. So I mean, not bad. Like for who they played, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, who do they even play?
I didn't
Yeah.
even. I just looked for big names and I didn't see any. So,
Yeah,
but
No,
well,
yeah,
it
I
should be.
expect Illinois to roll.
Yeah, should be fun though. Yeah, Illinois, yeah, like you said, they can score if they're all cooking on all cylinders, offense, defense. They can beat anybody, and they've proven it during the regular season too. Um, but yeah, and then next game you have Washington State 7. The Cougars facing number 10 Drake Bulldogs. Washington State got to the Pac-12 semis. Um, yeah, Drake wins Missouri Valley Conference title over Indiana State. And that Tucker DeVries for Drake, 2-time Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year, averaging 22, 7, and 4. So yeah,
Yeah,
Tucker DeVries.
his dad's actually the head coach, and
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, he's 6'8", 6'9", can do it all.
Shoot, pass. Yeah,
Yeah,
drive.
I have watched Drake quite a few times this year, just because I'm a degenerate gambler, but I
hmm
don't see them winning. I know, like I said, I'm literally going chalk on every game. Washington State beat Arizona a few weeks ago.
Mm.
I know they didn't play well in the Pac-12 tournament, but I'm just not a believer in Drake for whatever reason, and they can prove me wrong, but I'm going Wazoo here.
Yeah. Who do you got, Evan?
Yeah, I'm going
Washington or
Washington. Yeah, Washington State. Kind of fun. They haven't made the tournament since 2008, so kind of that feel good. I mean, haven't made it in 16 years, so I'd like to see them go far, and I am having them go far. I do have them go. Actually, have them. No, I don't. I think I have them. I do have them beaten Iowa State, so that's kind of big pick, but yeah, I got Washington State versus Drake.
Yeah, Washington State's pretty balanced. They have that senior Isaac Jones and that freshman Miles Rice that both averaging 15. And yeah, they're pretty. I mean, they have some young and some old, but I mean, yeah, they've been like you said, they have a couple big ones and one against Arizona, and then but yeah, I think Drake with the Tucker DeFreeze and his, I think they'll make a splash in that. Like I said, like you said, 10 seeds have won 60 about 61% of the medians against 7 seeds. In the past 2 years, 7 seeds have won 6 out of the 8 medians. So 7 seeds are more bound to win. But yeah, I remember when 10 seeds used to be a big upset, but I'm still going to go Drake here in this one. I think Tucker DeFreeze is going to ball out a couple games and then eventually lose to Iowa State. But, ball out this first game, I think. So I have Drake winning that one in the upset, kind of.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
definitely think it'll be a game. But yeah, it should be fun to watch him, especially if he can just carry his team like he has done all year. So
Yeah, like you see, like Jimmer Fredette and all like Steph
Mhm.
Curry
Yeah,
back when
Jimmer.
he was in it, carrying his team to in the tournament and stuff like that. So fun to watch. And then yeah, next game you have Iowa State versus the hometown SDSU, South Dakota State. So fun to see them back in the tournament. They've made the past few tournaments, and so really putting the name out there and playing well too. But that they won the Summit League tournament here in Sioux Falls last weekend, or last week, I guess, is on like Monday or Tuesday.
Mhm.
But yeah, they get a tough pull against Iowa State, who's been playing really well and yeah, just been dominating teams. But yeah, they knocked off Kansas State, Baylor, and Houston to win the Big 12 title. So they're coming in hot into the tournament. So
Yeah, they're rolling. Fun thing too, TJ Otzelberger used to be the coach at SDSU. So coaching against his former team, and it's in Omaha. I
oh hell yeah,
expect this
yeah,
game
it's
to be
packed.
the most attended game in the entire second round. Iowa State travels extremely well. I know SDSU fans do too. Only 2.5 hours away from here, a couple hours away from Ames. So um, sadly, I do think SDSU's run ends here.
Mhm.
Iowa State, in my opinion, probably the second best defensive team in America. SDSU just haven't seen anyone like this. I would love for it to be a close game, but I believe Iowa State's a 16.5 point favorite right now. I think that's about right. I got Iowa State here, and I don't think South Dakota State even scores 60 points in this game, maybe not even 55. But we'll see. Should be a fun matchup for sure. Everyone's going to kind of have a connection in this game. I know I already have it circled to watch.
Mhm.
They play right before KU on Thursday night, so
Yeah,
excited to watch this
6:35.
one. Yep.
So yeah, this will be fun because yeah, it's just hometown South Dakota State. Yeah, you get to watch the Jackrabbits play, and yeah, you might even have some connection like with the players even.
Yeah.
But I don't think they really have a chance. Zeke Mayo needs to score like 45 to
Yeah.
even have any chance of being in this game. Yeah, like you said, strong and aggressive defense, and yeah, the backcourt is crazy, and
And
Lipsky and Gilbert.
yeah, another fun tidbit here. Both of their centers, William Kyle and Rob Jones, shoot absolutely terrible from the free throw line. So I'm kind of excited to just watch a bunch of clanks from this big man as well.
Hack a
Kind of funny.
Shack. Yeah.
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 And William Kyle, who actually won tournament MVP in the Summit, is actually from Omaha. So SSU already travels well the way they are. Now he's going to have probably his entire family there. You never know. But yeah, I have the Clones winning.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got Iowa State as well. So I think SDSU had a good run and it was fun while it lasted. But yeah, tough pull for the first round against Iowa State. I mean,
Yeah.
you either had Arizona as a number 2, Tennessee, or Marquette. So not really any better in any of those other options. But yeah, this one will be packed. You got both Iowa State and South Dakota State being close to Omaha. So it should be fun. But yeah, then we got round 2 of the Eastern. You either have UConn and FAU or UConn and Northwestern. I think all of us had either one. Did you pick Northwestern, Evan? I think you had
Yep.
Northwestern.
I got Northwestern. Yep.
So yeah, again, in that matchup, I have UConn and FAU. But I just think UConn's the dominant force. I think like you mentioned earlier, I think UConn's just gonna walk to the Final Four here. So I have UConn in this one over FAU.
Yep. I have the same thing. Yeah, I have UConn in my Final Four. I have them in my championship. I have them repeating. But yeah, I just don't see them having really any real issue until they play maybe Auburn, San Diego State. That game should be very physical, really fun, but I have UConn rolling through their first two games.
Yep. Yep. Who do you got? You got UConn as well,
I got
and then
UConn. Yeah, I got UConn going
making
pretty
it to the
far. Yeah.
Sweet 16. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then the 4-5 matchup, SDSU, San Diego State versus Auburn. That one should be a banger too. Just back and forth, back and forth. But yeah, who do you got in that one?
I do have Auburn in that game. I think San Diego State doesn't quite have the offense
Yeah,
and
they've been
the
up and down
guys to
all year.
compete with them. Auburn's going to speed the game up. San Diego State's going to try to slow it down. Um, should be a really fun game actually, but I have Auburn winning.
Yeah, me too. I do have Auburn winning. Yeah, so I have UConn Auburn in that Sweet 16 matchup.
Yeah, I actually have San Diego State winning that one. Just with experience being in the Final Four last year, and then they do have a great defense too. But yeah, Auburn, yeah, like he likes to speed it up. SDSU likes to slow it down. But I think if SDSU can control the pace of the game, I think they are able to pull it out. So yeah, I got SDSU on this one, advancing to the Sweet 16 to face UConn. So. And then yeah, BYU versus Illinois. I think all of us had right. BYU and Illinois
Yep.
in the round of 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, who do you got in this one? Illinois or BYU? 3 versus
Uh,
6.
like I mentioned earlier, I think Illinois struggles in the tournament. I think they do again here. I think they choke and lose to BYU. So I have BYU. This is kind of like my first upset in this bracket. It's gonna happen. You obviously don't know where, but this is where I have Illinois losing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, go ahead, Evan.
Yeah, I got Illinois winning. I think I mentioned earlier, I have them going to the Sweet 16. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good game, and I think this one maybe has the feel that like bring that March Madness, like actually the madness. So I'm actually pretty excited for this game.
Yeah, I got Illinois in this one. I think they continued their hot streak from the Big Ten tournament into this tournament and play. I think they're finally starting to click on all cylinders. They did have kind of an up and down year, but I think Iowa State finally has found like their true selves. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, before they ran through, um, yeah, who do they beat Wisconsin in the Big Ten, but who else
Yeah.
did they have to beat to get to
Um,
the
I
can't remember. I
believe
looked at their schedule, but I forgot. But anyways, yeah, with Terrence Shannon scoring 34 a night, and they're playing great defense. I think Illinois can make it pretty far as well. Well, I guess
yeah,
till
they
the
rolled through Ohio State, beat them by 3. I shouldn't say roll, and then they played Nebraska, and then they played Wisconsin. So
yeah. So they beat two of the Nebraska's 8 seed, I guess, but
yeah,
they've been having an up and down year too. But Wisco's number 5, and they beat Purdue just recently. So
yep.
So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Illinois, BYU. I have Illinois. Kyle, you have BYU,
Hmm.
and then Evan, you have Illinois too advancing.
Yep, yep.
Cool, cool. And then yeah, next game, Washington State or Drake versus Iowa State. I think I have Iowa State advancing over Drake. Even though it'd be fun to see Tucker Freeze and his dad go far and kind of pull
Yeah, that
like
would be a really fun matchup. Being both teams being from Iowa, I think that game would be packed too. That'd be a lot of
yeah,
fun.
Drake is
Um,
in Des Moines,
Des
right? And
Moines,
then
I
Iowa
believe.
State
Yep.
is in Ames, yeah.
Yeah. So that
And
would
it's in
be
Omaha still too. So
yeah, be a lot of fun. I have Iowa State cruising to the Elite Eight where they get bounced by UConn, but I have Clones winning here.
Yeah, this is
and
my biggest upset. I mean, I do have them beating Iowa State. I have Washington State going and beating Iowa State in that round. It's gonna be iffy, but it's kind of a gamble, but I'm gonna roll with it.
And I don't hate it. If Iowa State gets into kind of a shooting battle with any team, they have some guys, Lipsy and Gilbert. But I think Carter Roberts, if you're watching, big Iowa State fan. Mama
yeah, shout out Carter.
Chilovich, I think his last name is their foreign player from Milan, Spain. He's kind of their X factor. He made a
Mhm.
ton of shots in the Big 12 tournament. So he is going to be kind of my guy to watch on their team throughout the tournament. But I have Iowa State going to the Sweet 16.
And you said they have probably one of the best defenses as well, right?
Yeah, if not the best.
Yeah.
I think they rate top 3 in defensive efficiency
Yeah.
in the country.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, then that leaves UConn and Auburn or SDSU for me, I guess. But I have UConn beating SDSU in this round. Yeah, yeah, we said, UConn's probably going to walk to the Final Four there, and like you said, maybe repeat and go back to back. Since Florida did it back in like 2003, I
Yeah.
think it was
Oh,
it.
607.
Oh, 607, yeah.
Yeah. So it's
So
been 17 years since we've seen one. So
yeah, so it'd be pretty cool if that happened, and they have the potential to do it. So, and then yeah, either Illinois or BYU versus Iowa State or Washington State.
Mhm.
I have Illinois and Iowa State, and I actually have Illinois keeping on that hot streak and upsetting Iowa State. They're advancing to the Elite Eight, so I have Illinois carrying that hot streak into the Sweet 16 and hopefully and getting canceled at the Elite Eight level versus UConn.
Yeah, I got UConn rolling, and then in that next game I had Illinois and Washington State, and I stuck with Washington State again. So
Hell yeah.
in the Elite Eight, I'm gonna have UConn and Washington State, and then yeah, I'll have Washington State getting bounced
if you
in
win
the
your
Elite
bracket,
Eight.
you know why.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
So do we all 3 have UConn coming out of this region then?
Yeah, I
Hmm.
got UConn advancing to the Final Four.
Sweet.
But yeah, let's just bounce over to the West. So yeah, that one's kind of like you said, chalk it up. I mean, yeah, pick the higher seeds, and you probably have a pretty good chance of
Yeah, I don't see
successfully completing
any
that.
really high seed. I mean, even if Washington State does make around, they're only a 7 seed, so it's not crazy. I don't know if people remember last year, UConn was a 4 seed. I think San Diego State was a 4 seed. FAU was a 9 seed.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Yeah, like
crazy.
there was no seed lower than 4 in the Final Four. I think that's what this year, but
Oh yeah, 100%.
anything's possible, as we've all seen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then yeah, we'll just jump to the West region there, where North Carolina has the 1 seed, Arizona the 2 seed, Baylor the 3, Alabama the 4, and St. Mary's at the 5. But yeah, North Carolina either faces against Howard or Wagner. But I have North Carolina just rolling over whoever they play. They've been playing really well this year. Lost to NC State, but NC State went on a crazy run there in the ACC tournament. But yeah, UNC's been playing really well. Beat Duke the last game of the season in Cameron Indoor. Yeah, so yeah, kind of a bummer there, but yeah, UNC's been playing well.
Yep, I have North Carolina rolling too, regardless of who they play.
Yeah, I'm going UNC as well. A little bit of bias there, but I have UNC going pretty far. Yeah, I see them rolling.
I mean, yeah, they have a I wouldn't say pretty easy, but probably one of the easiest routes to the Final Four after playing either Arizona or Baylor down when they meet in the Elite Eight or whatever. But yeah, we'll get there. You have the 8-9 Mississippi State versus Michigan State. Tom Izzo makes it to the tournament again. Mississippi State's made it the past couple of years as well. But yeah, Mississippi State lost 5 out of the last 7 games to end the season, so they're not doing too hot. But they do have a couple notable wins against Tennessee. They had Tennessee's number. They beat them twice in the regular season. But yeah, who do you got winning this one?
This is another really good 8-9. I'm torn. This is probably the most torn I've been on an 8-9. I'm gonna go with Michigan State, but I don't love it. They were preseason top 5. I don't know if you guys knew that, and kind of limped into the tournament at 19 and 14.
Yeah,
but they do have some guards win in March, and they have some really good guards. AJ Hogard and Tyson Walker, studs. So I think their guard play and their experience from last year, getting to the Sweet 16, helps them beat Mississippi State. And if there's anyone out there who is writing brackets the old-fashioned way with their pen and submitting them, if you just put MSU here, can't lose.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Because you're gonna know.
There you go.
Hell yeah, that's a good key tip from a professional, Mr.
Yeah,
Marsh
I know
himself.
sometimes our parents have brackets at their works and whatnot, and that's the old-fashioned way of doing that. So
Guarantee a dub. Hey, who do you have here? But
Yeah.
Michigan, yeah, who do you got?
I got Michigan State. Yeah, I mean, what's that saying? Is it January, February, Izzo? So
Yeah.
Mr. March. Yeah, I'm gonna go Michigan State here. I think this one's gonna be a good game. Hopefully, a lot of madness, upset. Who knows? But yeah, I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, I think yeah, I'm going with Mississippi State. Even though they've lost ending the season, Michigan State's been kind of on a roller coaster all season. Like you said, they came in, you said top five, and then yeah, barely limping in here to the tournament. So I mean, they do have good guard play, but their weakness is in the center position. They don't have really very many big guys or talented big guys. And I mean, if they do win, they're probably going to get knocked off by North Carolina. But I have Mississippi State winning this battle here in the first round over Michigan State and knocking off Tom Izzo's team. So,
Yeah.
um,
Very tough game to pick.
yeah, it's 8-9, and yeah, like 8-9 matchups are pretty tough. But like you said, like I said earlier, 9 seeds have won 13 out of the past 20 meetings against the 8 seeds. So,
And that is the first game on Thursday. Michigan State sits as a 1 point favorite right now. So
yeah.
it's going to be close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
11:15 tip off time, and I think
Mhm.
yeah, that's when brackets have to be submitted by. So yeah, get them in by Wednesday at 11:15. So but yeah, then the next game you have St. Mary's, the Gales taking on the Grand Canyon Lopes. This is a 5-12 matchup. This could be upset, but I think St. Mary's, they haven't lost a game since Christmas time, and that loss came to Gonzaga. So yeah, they play really slow. And they have really good defense. Yeah. Who do you got in this one? GCU or St.
Um,
Mary's?
I have Grand Canyon, another feel good team. St. Mary's does play good defense, but their conference was just very, very weak this year, in my opinion.
Well,
These
yeah.
are the only two teams that got in. But I have Grand Canyon. They've kind of been rolling. They rolled through their conference schedule. Only 4 losses. I know they haven't played a ton of people, but they got the conference player of the year in Tyon Grant Foster, former Kansas Jayhawk in
Mhm.
2021. Wish he was still with us, but I have Grand Canyon winning in a close one.
Yeah, GCU ranks top 65 in both offense and defense efficiency. So I mean, yeah, when you look at, have you ever heard of the trapezoid like theory? Like where they
Yeah.
have like that trapezoid and yeah, like they have teams like in 4 different sections and everything. Yeah, they're gonna be within that trapezoid there, for sure, with the top efficiency and top 65 in defense and
Last
offense
game of the
efficiency.
first round on Friday, 9 o'clock. St. Mary's 5 point favorites right now. So 12 pretty much beats a 5 every year. So this is my 12 beating a 5, but I would not be surprised if St. Mary's won.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Who do you got in this one, Evan?
I got St. Mary's, and I did see today they came out with upsets to watch for prior to the game starting on Thursday, Friday, and they do have this one listed as GCU upset in St. Mary's. So I stuck with St. Mary's, but I wouldn't be surprised if Grand Canyon ends up winning.
Yeah, and to come back at that, Kyle, at least one number 12 seed has defeated a number 5 seed in 32 of 38 tournaments. 3 out of
Mhm.
the 6 times 12 seeds failed to win a first round game have occurred in the past 8 years. So if so, I mean 12 seeds are pretty much, yeah, 12 seeds guaranteed, not guaranteed, but supposed to win at least one team, 112 seed is. So and then yeah, you have the next game. You have the Alabama Crimson Tide, ranked number 4, seeded number 4 versus the 13 seeded Charleston Cougars. That game is on Friday at 6:30. Who do you got in this one?
I have Alabama. If you don't know much about the tournament and want to watch a game and you have to pick a couple games, I would choose this one. Both teams just shoot the absolute piss out of the ball. We have an over under right now of 172 and a half in a college
Jeez,
game.
Jeez.
Um, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes over.
172 and a half for a
Yeah, so
set
we're
for
looking at an
base.
87, 85 game, somewhere
Yeah,
around that. But both teams just shoot the lights out, like to play fast. There'll be a ton of possessions. I think I think Alabama's a 10 point favorite right now. But I think Charleston covers, but I think Alabama wins.
yeah. Who do you got, Evan?
I got Alabama, but now that you say that, you said if you, I mean, obviously if you a game to watch is this one, I'm gonna watch. I like fast-paced games. I like a lot of shots going
Yep.
up. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna tune into this one for sure. But I got Alabama winning.
Yeah, Alabama has lost 4 out of the last 6 games, so they're looking for some momentum to get into going into the tournament. Mark Sears, though, he knows this. He's been on this stage before. He returning from last year. He's averaging 21, 4-4 on 50% from the field and 43 from 3-point line. So he's been playing really well. But yeah, Charleston runs a deep 12-man rotation, and they're kind of live and die by the three as well. They just shoot the shit out of the ball. And then Charleston last year kept a close game with San Diego State in the first round. Didn't upset them, but still
Yeah,
kept it close. So
they
they
can
have some
definitely keep it
experience.
close, and I wouldn't be surprised. Alabama doesn't play any defense, and
Mm-mm.
apparently neither does Charleston. Just looking at that over under, but in those type of games, it's really who shoots the ball better. So, chance for an upset there. I don't think it happens, but moving to next game, we have Clemson and New Mexico. Clemson, at large out of the ACC. New Mexico won their conference tournament. Complete opposite in this region. I have New Mexico winning this game, so I have an 11 and a 12 winning so far. But New Mexico's hot. They also shoot the ball really well. Donovan Dent, Jalen House, there's their backcourt. They kind of hit or miss, but they will shoot the ball and they will get up and down. They don't play great defense, but I don't think that Clemson's offense can keep up with the Lobos. So I have New Mexico winning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Clemson finished. Yeah, go ahead, Evan.
I got Clemson here, but like when I mentioned, like did come out with some upsets, and this one was also listed on that. So yeah, should be another good game, but I got Clemson winning.
Yeah, Clemson finished the season 10-10, and lost 3 of the last 4 games, and they've been up and down in the ACC, and haven't been playing well at all. I have New Mexico Lobos winning this one as well.
And kind of a weird thing, New Mexico being the 11, Clemson being the 6. New Mexico's actually favored in this game.
Yeah, they're
So
coming off a
That's
Mountain
wild.
West title over
mhm.
San Diego State. That's who beat them in the Mountain West. And New Mexico's averaging around 82 points a game.
Yep.
I have New Mexico winning this one. Just gonna run the court and just dominate. So all right, next game we got the number 3 Baylor Bears facing on the Colgate Raiders. That one's an early one on Friday morning there at 11:40. But who do you got in this one?
I have Baylor rolling. I don't really see them having too much problem with Colgate. I'm gonna roll with Baylor.
Yeah, I'm going with Baylor as well. I know a few years ago there was a Baylor guy that played for Baylor, and he actually ended up going to the NFL. I'm not sure where he's at now, but I'm a big fan of Baylor, so I'm going with Baylor.
Yeah, Baylor, one of the best offenses, rank top teams in adjusted offensive efficiency and effective field goal percentage. So when you see the high offense efficiency, you see them making it pretty far. I'm going to go with the Baylor Bears here, beating Colgate there. Then you have number 7 Dayton facing off against the number 10 Nevada. Who do you got in that one? 7-10 matchup, always interesting.
Yeah, I think Nevada got really severely underseeded. So I have Nevada beating Dayton. Dayton didn't win their conference title. They got in at large out of the A10. But I have Nevada winning, which kind of scares me because they're another Mountain West team. Mountain West teams usually struggle in the tournament, but I'm hoping this year's the year they flip that around. But I have Nevada.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Nevada. I'm gonna go 10/7. But yeah, hopefully a good game. But yeah, I think I got Nevada going.
Yeah, Dayton out of the last 9 games are 5-4. They do have pretty good offense, and they like to shoot the three. But so do the Wolfpack. They have a good offense and defense efficiency. This one's going to be a tough one, but I have Dayton advancing to the next round. This one was kind of a coin flip for me.
Yeah, another 1-point spread. Nevada's favored, but yeah, it'll be another coin flip game.
Yeah. So I'm taking Dayton in that one, even though they had a tough end of the season. I'll see what they can do in the tournament. Arizona number 2, facing on the Long Beach State number 15. I think they're the Sharks. I don't even know. I tried to look them up, and I looked at their mascot, and they have a new mascot since like 2021 named LB the Shark. So
There you go.
Yeah, I
Go
remember they used
Sharks.
to have a really sick logo back in the day.
yeah,
And
it's
their
just a
jerseys
shark.
say they say the beach. So I've always loved their uniforms. Funny story, their coach actually got fired before their conference tournament, and he kind of just said, screw it. Okay, I'll just go out and win it. So they ended up winning as like a 7 or 8 seed in their conference tournament. But I think their run ends here. Arizona rolling over the beach.
Yeah, Arizona's been ranked top 15 in both offensive defense efficiency, and then they have a guard from UNC, Caleb Love, who's been
Yep.
playing really well. And all 5 of their starters average at least 9.8 points. So well-rounded team. I got Arizona advancing over Long Beach State.
Yeah, I got Arizona as well. I think I mentioned earlier that I don't have a 13, 13, 14, or 15, or 16 seed winning. So, yeah, I'm going to go Arizona here.
Yeah, and then round of 32, North Carolina and Mississippi, or either MSU team here. I have North Carolina advancing. I have North Carolina making it to the Final Four actually. So I have them making it out of the West region.
Yeah. I got North Carolina beaten. Yeah, either MSU or MSU. And then I have Alabama beating Grand Canyon. And then that's kind of my upset here is I actually have Alabama and Arizona in the Elite Eight. So I got North Carolina winning their second game and then Alabama winning their second game as well in that pod.
Oh yeah, who do you got there, Evan?
Yeah, I got UNC beating Michigan State, and then I got Alabama over St. Mary's. And then what did we go over? Did we talk about the other two?
Baylor and New
Oh no, I was
Mexico
just
would
saying
be
who I
kind
had them.
of either
Yeah.
Clemson and Baylor or Baylor and New Mexico State, I think would be the matchup that you would have. I can't remember.
Yep, I got Baylor winning over Clemson, and then Arizona over Nevada.
Yeah, and then who would be your Elite Eight teams? You have North Carolina versus Arizona or Baylor
Yep.
or
Yeah, I got North Carolina over against Baylor, and then I think let's see here, and then UConn, Washington State, and then that's where I said Washington State ends up getting beat, but I have UNC going all the way, so I have them actually beating UConn in the Final Four.
hell yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, so then I have North Carolina and Alabama beating St. Mary's, and then I have Baylor beating New Mexico and Arizona beating Nevada, and then Arizona facing North Carolina. This is actually, I think it's down in Phoenix or somewhere down in Arizona. Um,
The Elite Eight or Final Four?
Elite Eight or
I
Final
believe
Four.
it's in LA.
Final Four,
Final Four is in
because
Phoenix. Yep.
yeah, because this would be like a home game and like a home,
For Arizona.
yeah, for
It'd
Arizona if
be a
they
really
make
fun
it.
matchup too, because
Caleb
Caleb Love
Love, yeah,
would get to go up against his former team.
be a cool
I have
story.
Alabama coming out of this region against Arizona, but yeah, I would not be mad if that was the Elite Eight matchup.
Yep, that's what I got. I got UConn and Illinois in the East, North Carolina and Arizona in the West, as my Elite Eight teams. So, then yeah,
Oh
we'll just
yeah.
move on to the South there. Houston got the number 1 seed here in the South, and they take on number 16 Longwood. Shouldn't be struggle for Houston, ranking number 1 defense and pretty good on offense there. With Shed and those guys. So is it Shed or Sheet or something like
Yeah,
that?
it's Jamal Shed. He won Big 12 Player of the Year. Houston's been an absolute wagon in the Big 12 all year long, as much as it pains me to say that.
Yeah, LJ Cryer.
Yeah, Baylor transfer, LJ Cryer. They pretty much dominated the Big 12 other than Iowa State in the regular season. But very dangerous team coming in. I have them rolling over Longwood.
Yeah, and they were goated in NCAA like 2010
Yep, shout out
basketball.
Kelvin Lewis. Guy didn't miss from 40 feet.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I got Houston advancing. Their top defense only allowing 57 points per game to the opponent. Yeah, and then Longwood didn't nobody thought Longwood. I think that did you mention that somebody stealing the spot? Like Longwood was probably one of those teams stealing a 16 spot because they had a surprising run in the Big South and won the
Yep.
title.
And
But they
that's
only
why they're 16. But yeah, I think they get absolutely rolled. So
yeah, they finished the season 21-13 in the Big South. I mean, so I
yeah.
mean, not a huge, yeah. So this one should be a good one. Then you got the Nebraska Cornhuskers at number 8, and then the number 9 A&M Aggies, Texas A&M Aggies, battling it out at 5:50 on Friday. Who do you got on this one?
This was another extremely tough pick for me. But I am going A&M. I know a lot of people are going to fall in love with the Nebraska story. Nebraska's never actually won a game in the NCAA tournament in their entire existence. So obviously the time to do it. I think it's going to be really close. Nebraska, I think, is a 1.5 point favorite right now. Looking at ESPN. So I'm going to take A&M though. And I know it won't be a popular pick. I think Nebraska right now is one of the most heavily bet teams, most picked teams. So do it with caution. But I think it'll be close.
Yeah, they have beat some notable teams like Purdue, Ohio State, and Wisconsin in the regular season. So, but yeah, they shoot the ball really well. It's kind of like live and die by the three. But they have that Kisi Tominga, or how do you pronounce it? I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Yeah,
but he's
Tominaga.
he's their leading scorer, and he has a cool story. But yeah, that yeah, I have Texas A&M advancing in this one though. Even though they did lose to Florida in the SEC, they had a great finish, and they're smart team, efficient team, and they're really good on the board. So I have Texas A&M advancing in this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cornhuskers, just because I don't know, being close to Nebraska, and so I'll have them facing up against Houston, which I think they'll get rolled. But yeah, I got Nebraska beating A&M.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun pick. There was a toss up for me too, and you said it was a 1 point spread. Like
Nebraska's barely favored right now. I think it might switch or go back, but it's gonna be tough. This was probably my second hardest pick to determine for the whole bracket, other than that Mississippi State Michigan State game. So
yeah, these 8-9 matchups are good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you have Utah State and TCU in the Midwest, which would be a good one too. But then you have number 5 Wisco versus number 12 James Madison. That's kind of a fun one there. A lot of people are going to want to pick the Dukes in this one, especially with them coming in hot. First game of the season, beat Michigan State, and then they go 30. Would they go like 31 and
3? I think
to tie UConn with the most wins in D1. Just nuts.
Yep. Former South Dakota State player Noah Friedel, he starts on this team. They're another team that is very efficient shooting. They score a lot of points. I got James Madison beating Wisconsin in this game.
Yeah, I'm a big Wisco fan, so I did end up going with Wisco, and I do actually have them. I have Duke beating Vermont, so I have them matching up, and I think that should be a good game. Hopefully, that's one of my biggest upset. I know Duke, a lot of familiarity with the tournament, so. But I have Wisconsin actually beating Duke in the round of 32.
Yeah, Wisco, they're a veteran team. Great offense, but they don't have the best defense. That's why you see some of those losses that they have.
Got hot at the right time at the end of the Big Ten tournament, which I think helps. And this Wisconsin team actually does score the ball better than their past teams. But I think this James Madison team is just an absolute wagon. And
they went on
be my favorite betting pick in the first couple days. Last year I gave everyone on this pod Furman +6, ended up winning the game outright. Just like last year, this spread is also 6 right now. So give me James Madison +6 for my first round super mega goat whale.
Hell yeah. That's mark it down, put it on the put it on the scroller. We got JMU upsetting Wisco there. 12-5, and those matchups are always good ones to pick and everything. But yeah, JMU goes on a 13+ game winning streaks in the middle of and during the regular season. So yeah, this one's going to be a fun one to watch. But I do have Wisco. AJ Storr needs to put Wisco on his back if they want to do well. But yeah, I got Wisco advancing here into the round of 32. But yeah, James Madison is their +6, you said?
Yeah, fun stat too. James Madison is averaging close to 85 points a game. And if you know anything about Wisconsin, they don't score. I know they scored a lot in the Big Ten championship. That was third game in 3 days. I think there's some tired legs on defense, which caused that. But Wisconsin is not scoring 90 every night, let alone 70. So I think it spells trouble for them. I wouldn't be shocked if Wisconsin won, but I do think it'll be close. And James Madison covers 6.
Yeah, Terrence Edwards and TJ Bickerstaff for JMU. Putting up 18 for Edwards and 14 for Biggerstaff. Yeah, they're a fun team to watch, and the record shows it.
37% from 3 too. So
as a team, pretty nuts. So that would be fun to watch. Yeah, Kyle has James Madison upsetting Wisco. there in the first round. Evan and I have Wisco advancing, but it's gonna be a close one there. Yeah, it'll be fun to watch. Then you have the number 4 Blue Devils taking on the number 13 Vermont Catamounts on Friday at 6:10 there. Who do you got in this one?
I got Duke rolling. I don't know a ton about Vermont. I watched them play a few times. Won their conference tournament, but I have Duke winning.
Yeah, I got Duke winning as well.
Yep, I got Duke winning. I think Jeremy Roach is going to show some leadership and take his team far with Filipowski. Hopefully he can contain his emotions and everything. But
no more tripping.
Yeah, right.
It's part of the Duke brotherhood, apparently.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I guarantee he like purposely shoved that guy who was charging the field too, or charging the court. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
But
So if Vermont wins, don't do anything crazy. You might get yourself hurt.
Yeah, 19. Yeah, Vermont's won 19 out of the last 20 games heading into the big dance or whatever.
I just think Filipowski is a nightmare matchup for any team. So
yeah,
I think Duke rolls. I think they're 12-point favorites right now. So give me Duke.
I got Duke in this one as well. Texas Tech versus NC State. Like we mentioned, NC State on that crazy 5 games in 5 days, all wins. Yeah, crazy run there. But I think that's going to lead to fatigue. They do got a week to prepare, but they face a tough number 6 Texas Tech team.
Yeah, I've got to watch Texas Tech quite a bit, just being a Big 12 guy. I have Tech winning, but don't sleep on DJ Burns, the big boy out of NC State. He's going to be America's sweetheart if they do win a game or two. So
yeah, smooth handles, lefty. He's fun to watch. He is fun to watch. I watched him during the ACC tournament when they knocked out Duke and UNC there in the title game. But yeah, NC State is fun to watch. They do face a tough Texas Tech team. But I do have the Wolfpack advancing on and beating Texas Tech there in the first round. I got the 11 upset over the 6.
Yeah, I got Texas Tech, but like you mentioned, that DJ Burns looks like an offensive tackle, and he's fun to watch. So I'm excited to watch this game for sure. But I got Texas Tech over NC State.
Oh yeah, and then we got the number 3 Kentucky Wildcats, young, fast, fun to watch, taking on the number 14 Oakland Golden Grizzlies on Thursday at 6. Who do you got there?
Yeah, I got Kentucky rolling. I know they don't defend really anyone, but they are just gonna shoot Oakland out of this game. I don't think it's close.
Yeah, one of the top nation's top most efficient offenses. Antonio Reeves and Rob Dillingham balling out, and then the freshman Reed Shepard too. He's coming in shooting 52% from the 3-point line, and just crazy how if the Kentucky can
will have 3-4 draft picks in the first round. 3 of them should be lottery picks. So same thing, different year for Kentucky recruiting wise, but they'll put some points on you.
Yeah, I think this year, Kentucky makes it pretty far. Actually, I have them in the Elite 8 with Houston. So I think Kentucky, if they can get on a roll and their shots are falling and they, like you said, they can't guard anyone, but if they can outscore these teams, I think Kentucky makes it pretty far, even though they are young, don't have much experience. But yeah. And then I got
Kentucky as well. And I was just going to say, you said you had them in the Elite 8. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have him as well. Or did you say you had him in? Yeah, I got him in the Elite 8 against Houston. Yep.
Oh yeah, and then we have Florida, number 7 Florida Gators facing either Boise State or Colorado. And I have Colorado winning the playing game over Boise State and facing Florida. But I have Florida advancing to the next round, even though that Colorado team is looking pretty good heading into the tournament.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really fun 7-10 matchup, regardless of who Florida gets. I have Florida winning. Florida's been hot, but I wouldn't sleep on either Boise State or Colorado, whoever wins that game.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Gators as well.
Yeah, Gators have been kind of sneaky, kind of like flying underneath the radar this year. They were in the SEC title game there.
Championship,
yeah, exactly. And then Colorado on the other hand won 8 out of the last 9, and they lost to Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game. I have Colorado based in Florida, but then I have Florida knocking off Colorado there. So there you go. Then we have Marquette, the Golden Eagles facing the Hilltoppers out of Western Kentucky there. That's
Yeah,
at 1 o'clock on Friday. Who do
I
you got
got
in that one?
Marquette rolling.
Mhm.
Tyler Kolek, their electric point guard, should be back.
Should be back. Yep.
I don't think they would necessarily need him for this game. Hopefully, they can handle him pretty easily. But yeah, I have Marquette winning.
Yeah, Cam Jones has been stepping up pretty good
Mm,
in replace of the absence of
uh,
Tyler Kolek. But yeah, who do you got in this one, Evan?
I got Marquette. Yeah, I don't know really anything about Western Kentucky at all, so I had to go with Marquette.
Yeah, I got Marquette in this one. I think they roll until they face Kentucky in the Sweet 16. Um, but yeah, run through your who do you want? Yeah, run through your next games there, Kyle. Just in the next
uh,
rounds.
yeah, I got like I think we all do. You guys all have Houston in your Elite Eight. Um, I got Duke making the Sweet 16, losing to Houston. I think this region actually kind of sets up nice for Duke. I'm
Hmm.
not saying Duke can beat Houston. They actually probably have a better chance than most four seeds in the field. I just think it's a bad matchup for Houston. Duke can run out and score a lot. It's going to be completely opposite styles. So I would love to get that matchup, but I have Houston versus very chalky. But I have Houston Marquette in the Elite Eight, and I have Houston coming out of the South.
Yeah, this one the South is kind of a tough region. I mean, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of good teams, a lot of potential, high scoring teams and everything. Pretty offensive based region here. Um, and then yeah, you got Houston on the defensive end there. But I have Houston and Kentucky in my Elite Eight. I have yeah, Duke making it facing off against Houston, but losing to Houston in the Sweet 16. But yeah, like you said, Filipowski is going to be a tough matchup if he can keep his composure and keep his head in the game. Could make a good run, should make a good run. But yeah, we've seen the past couple of years, especially under John Schneider, haven't made it past the Sweet 16, have they?
No, I don't believe so. And fun thing about Houston too, they don't play anyone who's over 6'9". So if they do get Filipowski, I mean he's 6'10", 6'11".
Mm-hmm.
He could spread the floor. It could cause a lot of problems. That's why I think it'd be super fun. And I think Duke would have more than a chance to win that game. But I'll take the experience. I'll take the defense.
Yeah, defense wins championships there. And then yeah, let's head to the Midwest when you got Purdue facing either I think it's Montana State or Grambling State or something like that.
Yeah, looks like they
Hmm.
got the winner of that. I don't think 16 beats Purdue again this year. It'd be quite comical if
Oof,
it
that
happening
would be
again.
tough. Yeah.
But give me Purdue.
Yeah, I got Purdue in this one as well. They've been playing really well. Had a couple tough stretches there. Lost to Northwestern early in the season, and then Nebraska, Ohio State, and Wisconsin there to end their season and in the tournament, but are not in their tournament. Um, but yeah, Purdue's looking for their first Final Four appearance under their head coach, and since 1980.
Yeah,
So
been a long time.
yes, so I have Purdue winning this one. I think Purdue has a pretty, I wouldn't say easy, but um, I think they have a pretty good route to making it to the Elite Eight and to the Final Four. And I actually have Purdue winning it all. I think this is Zach Edey's year. He's been averaging 24 and a 12 and playing the best he's ever played and dominating everybody. And there's not, like you said, not really a matchup here. If except for Kansas, maybe if Dickinson is back.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Edie and Dickinson have played each other multiple times, and Dickinson's had some success. But
Yeah.
Kansas is gonna have to make it there, so I'm not too confident they will do that. But that'd be a fun Sweet 16.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. Who do you got in that one? Evan? Purdue as well, I'm assuming.
I got Purdue. Yeah, and I like Zach Edey, but I do. You guys just mentioned that. I do have Kansas making it that far, so I do have Purdue and let's see, Purdue and Kansas in the Sweet 16. And I
Mhm.
do have Kansas actually winning. I got Kansas beating Purdue in the Sweet 16.
Hell yeah.
Would love to see it
Um,
happen.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm hoping, like you said, I'm hoping Duke can
Yeah,
knock
just
off
give me the
Houston.
matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you get another tough 8-9. You got Utah State and TCU, which we mentioned earlier. This one should be a close matchup. I got the Horned Frogs advancing out of the first round though, facing Purdue, and then
Yep.
in the second round.
I have TCU winning as well. Should be another really close game. 8-9s or coin flips. But yeah, I have TCU winning.
Yeah, and I kind of just took a shot in the dark. I got Utah State winning. So yeah, I kind of shot in the dark.
Yeah, I mean they're a good team. They have a great inside presence and they play at a slow pace. Don't take a lot of threes, but super good post interior team. And so yeah, if they can stay out of foul trouble and they grab a lot of boards, this could be a good matchup
Hmm.
for the Utah Aggies. But I have TCU advancing here. So Gonzaga versus McNeese. Gonzaga doesn't really like every year. They don't play in a tough conference necessarily,
Mhm.
but they're a really good team. Like pretty much always, they don't have the star-studded talent they have had in the past couple of years, but they are number 5 here in the Midwest, facing McNeese, number 12. What do you got in this one?
I know McNeese is a huge popular pick right now. But Gonzaga kind of found something at the end of the year. It's not their most talented team ever, like you mentioned, but I have Gonzaga winning, and then like we mentioned before, I have Kansas beating Samford in the next pod.
Yeah,
Yep. Same. I got Gonzaga beating McNeese, and then yeah, Kansas beating Sanford. Then yeah, like I mentioned, I had Kansas going to the Sweet 16, so I have Kansas beating Gonzaga.
yep. I got Gonzaga in this one. Kansas over Samford, but you did mention this one could be a 13-4 upset. This could
Mhm.
be a tough matchup for Kansas. But if they do get McCullough back and Dickinson back, I don't think that should be too much of an issue
Yeah,
against
Samford's
Samford.
a scary matchup for Kansas. They shoot a ton of threes. They don't really have any true, I think their tallest guy's 6'8". Score a ton of points. They press. Kansas hasn't played well against pressure all year, hasn't done well against shooting teams. But I'm just not convinced that a team from the Southern Conference is going to beat
Right.
like
Yeah.
Kansas. So I hope I don't eat my words, but I believe Kansas is the smallest favorite out of all the 4 versus 13. They're only 7-point favorites right now, which is
Hmm.
kind of scary.
Yeah.
So that's like I said, it's not a great matchup, but I have them hopefully winning at least one game.
Yeah. Just quick, Evan, before you pick Samford, yeah, like you said, they're up tempo, fast pace. They run a 10-man
Mhm.
deep bench, and then they average 10 threes a game and shoot 40% from three. And they
Yeah, it's a
average
terrifying
86
matchup.
points per game for the Bulldogs. So you need McCullough and Dickinson back for sure. They missed the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
been very up and down with injuries all year. McCullough hasn't really been healthy in a month and a half, so I'm not
but when
convinced that he's
he
going to
plays
be.
well.
Yeah, and if you look at it, I mean, Kansas when they healthy, they beat UConn, they beat Tennessee, they beat Kentucky. So that's kind of the only string of hope I'm holding on to. But I hope I'm hopefully at least getting past Samford.
Yeah. And you
Yeah,
got
and
Kane.
I got Kansas. Yeah, I already mentioned that. I got Kansas over Sanford.
Oh yeah. And then number 6 Gamecocks, South Carolina, 11 Oregon Ducks. This one should be a good one. I actually have the 11 seed Oregon Ducks upsetting the Gamecocks here in this one on Thursday night or Thursday afternoon at 3.
I have Oregon winning as well. I'm not sold on South Carolina. Oregon's hot. It's gonna be another close one. I think South Carolina is a small favorite right now, but I have the Ducks winning.
Yeah, and I also have Oregon winning that one against South Carolina.
There you
Yeah,
go. If
Oregon.
people are listening, consensus 11/6.
Yeah,
Midwest, take the
yeah,
Ducks.
Oregon made a good run in the Pac-12. And then Gamecocks, their leading scorer, Mitchie Johnson, only had 9 points total over a span of 2 games in the SEC tournament. So
Yeah.
if he's cold, then yeah, I have Oregon Ducks written all over this one. So yeah,
Yeah.
I got Oregon advancing to this
And
one.
it seems like whenever Oregon's in the field, they usually make some noise, end up in a Sweet 16, Elite Eight. So wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if they won at least one game.
Yeah, and
Right.
then they could potentially face Creighton. Creighton faces Akron in the first round, 3 versus 14. I have Creighton advancing and playing Oregon. And that
Yep.
could be a good matchup too.
Hmm.
Yep. I have the same exact thing. I don't think Creighton has any trouble with Akron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got Creighton as well. And who I'm not sure, Kyle. Do you know who? There's a kid that used to play at SDSU. He plays for Creighton right now, right?
Yep. Baylor Shireman.
Yeah.
He was first team All Big East. Has got the headband on, usually number
Hmm.
55. So Creighton, very fun team to watch if people haven't been watching and you want to turn in to watch a fun team. Creighton, Alabama. They both shoot a ton of threes, a lot of possessions. But yeah, I think Creighton has the opportunity to make some noise in this region.
Hmm.
Kind of sets up nice. But yeah, I have Creighton winning their first game against Akron.
Yeah, then you got Texas versus either Virginia or Colorado State. I think Colorado State beats Virginia, but then I think Texas with their new head coach Rodney Terry with his first year and his first NCAA appearance, I think they advanced to the next round and face Tennessee, which funny enough is Rick Barnes, ex-Texas head coach, who they just fired out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so that should be a fun matchup, a reunion there in Texas and Tennessee there in the round of 32.
Yep, I have the exact same thing. That'd be a great battle, a lot of orange. But yeah, I have Texas and Tennessee in the bottom portion.
Oh yeah. And
Uh,
then yeah, you're
Evan,
muted,
I think
Evan.
you're muted.
Yeah, I see. My bad. Yeah, I have Texas winning, and then I have Tennessee beating St. Peter's. And I actually have Tennessee going pretty far. I can't. Is it that Connect? He's a baller.
Dalton Connect, yeah.
That white
Mhm.
dude. Yeah, yeah. So I got
Yeah.
Tennessee going pretty far.
Yeah. Going back up top, I think did we all have Kansas playing Purdue in the Sweet 16?
I did, yep. You
Yep.
Okay,
had
I
you
think I
had
have that
Kansas
as
beating
well.
Gonzaga and then Purdue beating TCU, yep.
Okay, and then Evan, you had Kansas beating Purdue, is that right?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay, sweet. Yep, I have the same matchup. I do have Kansas's run ending there. I like Ty said, I think it's the year of Zach Edey. But I'm interested to see how he gets officiated. That's
Yeah.
always what they talk about, how he gets a
Mhm.
soft whistle on the Big Ten. He gets to March. It's not the same thing. So obviously he's a great player either way, but
If he gets in
I'm
foul trouble,
interested to
it's super
see,
scary. Yeah.
yeah, how he is officiated. But in my Elite Eight, I have Purdue playing Tennessee chalk again. But I have Purdue coming out of this region.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it might.
have. Yeah,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Ty.
Evan. Okay, I got the same thing. I got Purdue, Kansas, Creighton, and Tennessee in the Sweet 16, and I have Purdue and Tennessee advancing to the Elite Eight. And then I have Purdue making it out of this region to the Final Four. And yeah,
Yeah, and like I mentioned, I had Purdue beating Kansas, and then Tennessee beating Creighton, and then I have Tennessee actually beating Kansas in the Elite Eight.
yeah. So you have Kansas and Tennessee in the Elite Eight, and then you said Tennessee.
Houston and Tennessee, and yep, Final Four.
Perfect. Yeah,
Perfect. Yeah. If we just want to go over our Final Fours one more time, just in case people are tuning in late or skipped ahead, I got Houston in my East. Ty, who do you have coming out of the East? UConn. Evan, you have UConn as well.
Yep.
yep. I got
And
UConn
then
coming
in
out of
my
the East.
West, this is kind of my upset pick of the tournament, but I have Alabama coming out. Ty, who did you have again?
I got UNC, Baycott and RJ Davis coming leading North Carolina to the Final Four.
Yeah, and I also have Tar Heels.
Perfect. And then we just mentioned Ty and I have Purdue. Evan, you got Tennessee.
Out of
Hmm.
the Midwest.
Yep.
And then in the South, do we all have Houston?
No, I got Kentucky
Oh,
making
that's
it
right. Yeah,
out of the South there and beating Houston. I think they just put up more numbers than Houston does, just with their fast-paced offense. If Houston can control the game, like a lot of these teams, like Creighton, if Creighton can control the pace of the game, they can make it far. Houston, if they can control the pace of the game, they're gonna make it probably to the Final Four. But I have Kentucky, Purdue, UConn, and North Carolina wrapping up my Final Four. And then I have North Carolina versus Purdue in my championship game, and then I have Purdue knocking off the Tar Heels to win the 2024 March Madness.
Yeah, and I got. Yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
No, go. I was just gonna say, I think the two best teams all year have been UConn and Houston. So just to recap my Final Four again, UConn playing Alabama, I have UConn winning, and then Houston playing Purdue, I have Houston, and then I have UConn repeating for the first time in 17 years over Houston.
Hell yeah. And then I got UConn, North Carolina. I got North Carolina winning that game, and then Houston, Tennessee, and I got Tennessee winning that game, and then I have Tennessee actually winning it all with Dalton Connect.
I would not hate to see that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun if he can score he's been having an MVP type season that Dalton Connect, averaging like 21 points a game, and went on that span of where he scored like 32 or 35 plus for like 5 games straight.
Yeah.
Pretty
Definitely
nuts.
a dude who can carry his team to a Final Four, if not farther. So
Oh
Hell
yeah. So
yeah.
who do you guys have winning the championship? You have UConn, Kyle,
yep, I got UConn over Houston.
and then who did you have, Evan?
For the winning
The
it all?
championship game, yeah.
Yeah,
Who's
I
your
got Tennessee
over UConn or
over
UNC?
UNC. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. And then I have UNC losing to Purdue, and Purdue being my national championship for 2024.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I got my cat right.
Yeah, what's your name?
Brad, you want to say hi to the camera?
Brad. What's up, Brad?
He's got Kansas in the Natty.
Yep,
yeah.
he's got Kansas in the Natty. Hell yeah. If I could, I might have fill out a $10 bracket for Lola too, put her in there, see if I can't win something. But no, I appreciate you coming on, Kyle. Mr. March always knows
Absolutely.
what's going on, and has all the stats and previous history and all that good stuff with the team. So it makes it fun to talk about, get a little bit of knowledge from him. And yeah, he usually does pretty well if he doesn't have Kansas making it to the championship, and follows the blood. But Kansas has been playing well the last few years, and it's going to be fun to see them. But yeah. Anything else, guys?
No, appreciate you having me on. Rock Chalk. Enjoy the madness. Best 2 days of the year. I know I'll be starting early. I take these 2 days off every year. So
oh yeah, smart man.
You'll see me at the library Thursday, Friday.
There you go. Let's let the madness begin.
Yep.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of TEW Confrontational. We'll see you guys next week on the pod. Until then, peace.
Thanks, guys.